I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. I met Iris at the training hall yesterday. It already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
Huh? I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. If you were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister... I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from our father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple.
Except for the fact that your sister wanted to get rid of you entirely.
I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. I was the bridge.
I was the hole.
But as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up...
Because of Dahlia. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly.
But things didn't end there, of course. Yeah! Okay.
It ended there, right there.
Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people? You must mean...
Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you.
Yes? What is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Donham, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone.
It's done.
Hey, it's done. There's a problem. Come to the temple right away.
Execute Order 66.
Dracula never called me before. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But...
Oh, Dracula. Execute Order 69. The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? Oh, it's Italian.
Did Dracula become Italian? He spent a summer abroad and picked up the language.
It was me. I was the one that received her body.
What'd you say?
The murder weapon! I've been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed so much.
Let's find Karma here.
I'm taking over! Here I come! Staff that Mystic Elise always held.
Knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
Why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in the robe and stabbed it with the shitishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Again. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
Sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
Got it. I'm about to break your legs in court.
Ah!
I see.
I'm not going to spoil it, but he's on a couple cereal boxes.
Count Chocula?
Ah! Victim staff has a sword hidden inside the actual weapon used to murder the victim. Defendant! Yes? The judge is calling you! He wants to see you in his chambers! He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne! Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. Oh, she just left. So it's true. Iris, cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix.
Oh.
Mia! How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she learned who Elise Donham really was? Yes, I went to medical office and talked with her. Told her everything I knew. Ow.
Ew.
But why? Maya's stronger than you think.
They're testing her reflexes.
I knew she could take it all. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. Real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. The criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing, the victim was moved to Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly, so the culprit, someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself.
In the next episode.
Well, there's it's narrowed down.
To who?
To 3 people. Maya, Misty, and Pearls. They were the only 3 over that bridge. So either Pearls did it, Misty did it herself,
maybe Maya channeled Misty and then killed herself. I think we got it.
Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier.
Tests?
Yes, the tests on the blood dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree.
Oh yeah, that. Totally forgot about it.
That's the weapon that Maya Faye used when she fought with the victim.
So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or...
Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood.
was a sacrifice.
Oh.
That is all.
Blood
Now
elf.
then, let's restart this trial, baby.
All the way back? Okay, Jesus, man.
So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Whose was it?
Dagger! Found stuck in the pine tree in the temple garden. The blood doesn't match the victims!
I'm sure both the defense and prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims.
I understand, Your Honor.
What I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So, let's finish this quickly.
Got it. Franziska, get her! Agreed.
Very well, please bring in the last witness. And the zoomies. Too many zoomies.
Witness, please tell us your name and profession. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Red and Cool Offices.
Bye.
According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique.
Well, now she's the master of it.
I'm frightened. The Fae Clan. I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh my. The pain the Fae bloodline causes must be unbearable.
Very well. Now then, Miss Faye, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Donham's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't see any. Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you could do to change that fact. But there is something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen?
Witness, if you please.
Yes, Your Honor.
I did it. It was all me. I'm the one who did it.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff.
Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Huh. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone.
It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination.
Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened.
Who else was on the inner temple side that night?
Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well.
The day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later, like she said?
Well, let me think.
She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired.
No. I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head.
Hey,
Hiya! They said, hiya!
Who did it? Who hit you?
Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind.
Didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was?
Oh! Let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
I was really having a hard time. What should I do? Presser!
Oh!
Come on, Maya, this isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person?
Well, let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was dark. That's it.
It was dark.
It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training.
Come to think of it, there was an earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime, which is why she didn't see her attacker.
Oh, Phoenix.
It's inner monologue.
Yeah.
You can sound whichever way he wants. Thought maybe she was trying to hide something. Guess not.
Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely
The spirit that was channeled by Elise Donum, Dahlia Hotham.
Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head?
I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern.
What happened after?
Oh! My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think.
You think?
After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time.
Ooh, ooh. Bum, ba-dum, ba.
Well now, this is beginning to get interesting.
So what were the two things rolling around in your mind?
My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2.
Huh.
You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was.
That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then?
I think I screamed, "Help me!"
You think you screamed, but you're not sure.
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared of my wits, out of my wits.
Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes.
You already did. I thought this person might attack me, so I...
Oh, man!
So I... anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope.
It sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? I guess we press her for more details on my last hope.
It's my autobiography.
Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said my last hope.
What? I said what?
Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me."
Yeah?
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's like... What do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming at for help. Ah!
But what is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let it slip out.
Huh?
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? behind the attacker there was another person.
I am. Well, I need to keep that part a secret. What have I done? Huh. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond.
That makes me think that it was pearls.
That's what I always say. A ton of pressure. You're in the court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Pew pew.
Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony so we can, I don't know, press it.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
A man? Who was this man?
Well, you see, I couldn't see.
You couldn't see. She's used this excuse twice now.
Well, you know, the lantern light isn't very bright.
Lantern light, did you say?
It's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training.
Yeah, but it wasn't lit that night. You fool! You foolish fool!
I'm the fool! Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time.
You fool! You foolish fool!
And something warm splashed over me.
Sorry. You don't mean... Was it...
I didn't know it at the time, but... I think it was probably blood.
She's saying that that's when Miss Donham, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer?
At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness.
I started rolling in a circle around the lantern. So what happened next?
I don't remember. How were you saved? You don't even remember that. No. I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad.
I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. Right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. Guacamole. So there was a man standing behind your attacker?
Yeah.
That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Donham, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
The killer.
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, Your Honor. Frank.
That's my name.
I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Uh-huh. What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Godo, explain this!
Coffee.
Yes. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait.
Cafe au lait. Is that even legal? Are you sleeping with your coffee?
Mr. Tright's words are the milk, and you are the spoon. Your Honor.
I'm a spoon! I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know!
You must have noticed it too, Chite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Sorry, but that's not going to cut it.
What did you say?
There truly was no light in the garden. And there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick.
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. She quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker.
No!
It was you, Godo.
Order! 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 What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Why do we live? What's the purpose? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Right. Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There's no other light source at the scene.
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godo. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover up for him.
Cover? For the man that killed her mother?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Man who is getting his revenge.
Please. Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. You talk a good game, Chite. Let's see if you could walk the walk. It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't! Please, stop.
It was you. Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
All right, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
Who did Maya see?
I think it's. I think a robot man. I think a Godo. He's the only one you could see because of his goggles. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize this killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night.
Conditions?
Kill the lights, Your Honor. Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. Bzzz.
What? What? This is... But it can't be!
Huh. That was a nice bit of deduction.
And that's a pretty epic looking background. I didn't know that the court had adjustable lighting. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder.
Order! 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 Prosecutor Koda, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights?
Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man for a totally different reason.
What?
Witness, Mr. Wright, what in the...
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
He's starting to decay in front of us, Your Honor.
All right. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
Go ahead, give me this phony one. Come on now.
The killer! When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, the body was gone, and all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person who did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Huh? Huh? There are no men in that temple. Besides me!
Well then...
And Larry.
It's Phoenix. We never saw what happened when he crossed that bridge.
No, but we heard what happened. We heard the bridge give way and him fall into water.
He's a very good method actor.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor,
No need to apologize, it's Mr. As Mr. Goto said.
Wow.
You're utterly exhausted. It's Mr. Goto, we know it. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with the cross-examination.
The killer. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor.
Sure you were. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
Sure they were. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple.
It could have only been the killer.
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple.
By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
Looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some information before I ask her.
The torches were lit and the body was gone.
Torches were lit? It was lit?
Yeah, it was lit. Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why'd the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
It's true. It's hard to see how that would be any advantage. The only one who gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well, let's hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too.
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. Snow was removed by in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed. This killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away?
And there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. Oh, there's my... Area I collapsed in ended up getting splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow.
The bloody snow.
I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. There was no need to remove that amount.
It's true. You could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
You think that would help explain? So you never saw, so you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yes.
But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attack.
Nick, I'm sorry.
The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by a pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. For what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on.
Is it this one? Yes, the thing though. It must be my heart. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened.
I understand now.
Mm-hmm.
It cleaned up to make sure that no one could see it was her, yet forgot the blood-written Maya on the stone because he can't see the stone. He can't see the blood on it. Therefore, he forgot about it. Even though that is a very clear indicator based on trial 2 of the entire series. Just to turn it over and be like, it's a receipt.
I'm sure of it.
Well, it's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened.
They did it for your sake.
Well, if the body and the blood had been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. Her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. But it did.
Right then.
Master of Korean killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it.
But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you?
For the love of your sister.
What the fuck is it? That is.
The body of Elise Donham was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, real scene of the crime. Snow was the suspect covered. Yeah, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd.
Oh? And what would that be?
You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Goto. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Or Ahahawa. The killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion. Then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern?
Ah, you're right.
Yeah, Phoenix, right.
Order, order, order! But, Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene?
No. But yes.
But no.
Indeed. But it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the blood writing. That's why he scooped up all the snow, because he didn't know. He didn't know exactly where all the blood was, so he just made, we'll go this far out. That's a move.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body, remove all that snow, and then leave the bloody writing on the lantern?
Because you can't see red. I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why'd the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
The killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Goto, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought.
The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. What's the evidence?
You're right. There's no way any normal person would. But this man's a fucking robot from the dead.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright?
There's only one person involved in this incident who could have misseen the bloody writing altogether.
And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? It was Goto. Who failed to notice the bloody writing?
Mr. Goto, this is what you said yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
You can't see everything. Is that correct, Mr. Goto?
Yikes. This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern! My car! There's something written on it. But why? It's written in blood!
Nonsense! This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle!
Mr. Goto, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poison case at Tribulations.
This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Goto. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous! No one told me anything about a bloodstain!
You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red.
Huh. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them?
So then, Mr. Goto, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea.
Hiya! I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Goto is the murderer? But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Goto, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Donham, also known as Misty Fey. Miss Misty Fey.
It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, sounds like it's my name that's written there.
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is rich. You go on, Trite.
The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow.
The snow? How so?
Well, for example, Dr. Seuss, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area?
Yes, why didn't he just take that area? Ah, could it be?
Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood, and it seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark?
Not a chance. Torches were all lit. We would have been able to see just fine.
It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godo?
Oh my.
Wait! Wait just a minute!
Maya.
What is it? Witness.
Mr. Godo isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't even show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection.
Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look like it, but I'm... Ah! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
But please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Maya. You plan to cover for Mr. Godo no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her.
Huh. Nicely done, Trite.
Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there at the inner temple, too. After the incident...
And she couldn't channel anyone.
Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spirit prep room. That's when Mr. Godo arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first, and he chewed her right up.
And ate her. He just...
Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry. But what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on! Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be.
You're smart, Maya. You always know the best thing to say when you're under oath.
Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Godo!
Let's just move on to the cross-examination. If the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright...
Let's get this cross-examination started. In here. Let's get it started in high.
Yeah. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night.
So where do you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place?
Seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing Jesus, the body of Elise Dodo.
The next morning she looked around but couldn't find anyone.
She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end.
Well, you see, Pearly gets pretty scared when she's alone, and there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times.
The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and the spare prep room.
And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it.
There was a storage shack too? Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack.
The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Boop, boop.
Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge.
What do you mean?
I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearly said that she was sleeping at the time. She said that she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl, all alone like that.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the sacred cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock.
She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls.
What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? That's when Mr. Goto arrived at the inner temple for the first time.
So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Goto?
That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question?
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness.
What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor.
Touche, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Goto?
Hot nights, and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it had been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains? I think I'll pass.
You never visited Hazakura Temple or the inner temple, huh?
Huh. You want to say something, trite?
In any case, I have to find a crack in Goto's armor. Well, I cross-examine Maya, that is.
Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right?
Yes, then Mr. Goto. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
He cheered her up?
That's what Pearly said. She said that he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Goto.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Huh. Cut it out. You're making me blush.
This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves. In more ways than one.
The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Goto style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way. Judge style.
Good.
Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style. Goto's investigation.
I would do join Pearls up first.
Damn it.
No, you're right, but I like this conversation.
So you cheered Pearls up?
When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked about was her cousin, Maya Fey. Really? The bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there, She asked about you before she said a thing about herself. Pearly, I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side, but I couldn't find it in me to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup. With milk and sugar.
That's funny, because every time you came to me, you just kept rubbing it. She's dead, Phoenix. How do you like it? And then walked away.
And he's gonna say that to a little girl? With milk and sugar, I had the bitterness of the harsh truth.
What a sweet story.
You had the thermos of coffee? Why did that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here.
Yeah, but boo bee boo, boo bee boo, boo bee bee boo. Bee boo ba. Go to the investigation.
You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything?
It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Chite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it. So speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Beauty.
Misty Fey, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste.
Western taste? Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So from there, you headed for the prep room.
Wait a sec. What did Goto say just now? I think I found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of importance here. Where was Goto when
Yeah.
it all took place?
Alright, so what's the problem? Well, you think about it. Let me go get my Dwinkies.
Oh, I'm unconnected him. I've done it now!
Oh.
Anyone I should look after, we couldn't find anyone. Prep room. This is when Mr. Goto arrived at the inner temple for the first time. Found Pearly first and teared her right up. Where was Goto? I've already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have.
Figure it out? I'm thinking. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's this one.
Uh-huh.
And the scroll with the gravy on it, because how would you know that's Misty?
No, you're wrong. No, but you're right. Did you look at my script? No, you didn't. You did.
I didn't. Watch the video, Beck.
I don't watch the videos. I hire somebody to do that.
Mr. Goto, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Long.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Goto is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Ah, yeah. I know you know who it is. But here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
What's that wonderfully delicious smell?
The morning after, Pill.
What?
Huh? The crime.
Oh, okay.
Someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? Why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Goto, if you really hadn't seen this hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Fey.
Wait a minute, Nick.
Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there.
Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. And so if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess that there was a picture of Misty Fey on there.
True, but Mr. Goto described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Goto, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place.
Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right! Otherwise there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course Mr. Goto knew about the plan.
Huh?
Well, what did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of the plan?
The plan the mother left.
Why?
Because it was already open before she got it. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future. And these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year.
Hello.
Ah!
However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they'd already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple.
And you still insist this crafty killer is me?
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right! Mr. Goto couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
During a visit,
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center.
Yes, could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Goto. No, you didn't make any noise.
It's an anime. Everybody makes noise.
No, it's a novel.
Yeah.
What noise was that?
The bathhouse scene.
The noise the guy makes when he finally looks through the peephole.
Yeah.
Nobody gets creeped out about the fact that he's just...
Order, order, order. Mr. Goto, you're under fire again.
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness at his coffee.
Sorry for always asking. What does that mean?
It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did it all that just to protect this witness?
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her.
Go ahead. Give me the question.
I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme for lack of a better word, even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godo? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
I knew a long time ago that that was Armando. Maya. I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godo. For the same reason, huh? Oh, my pills, thanks.
Okay, Chite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together. Inextricably?
Inextricably. There you go, got it. With confidence.
Just give my brain a second to read the word. It's Mia. Mia Fey. Your girlfriend. Fiance?
No, it was too,
Whatever. That thingy.
Maybe might have gotten married later.
Is a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Here, Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Wait a second here. Mr. Godo is a defense attorney.
Your Honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. Real name of this man who calls himself Godo. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
Should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court. Tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she puts all of her faith in her clients. That pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. He and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. And one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
You weren't dead at all.
No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep coma.
See.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years have passed since I drank that poison brew. And one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Your Faye was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slipped away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, trite.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Faye would never have died. Much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for living? She goes by the name of Maya Faye. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Korean village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Faye was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time... I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from getting caught up in it.
That makes sense. Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya. She never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye. But how did she contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government.
Now that you mention it, Kenny did say something to that effect. He said that the master of the Crane had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Faye still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff.
Your staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hosakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother. That night of the crime, it was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean pearls, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight?
Well,
If you like, you could come to my room. Perhaps we could read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fay had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
She channeled the spirit first, and Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Kurain, Misty Fay's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fay wouldn't be able to. Ah!
What? Is this true?
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fay. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple, just in case you needed to be safe from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Godo.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Trite.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
No, we almost have his full okay. That's amazing!
The background leading up to the incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fay. And I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godo.
Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't.
Maya.
I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godo. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
Maya, I know that.
Nick,
Even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Sister.
Miss Fay, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
I sneezed.
The time. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Huh. Things break, Trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fay? It looks like you still can't prove it.
I was telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them.
Light shining in the dark? I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. And I can tell you for sure they were I can't tell you for sure that they were from Mr. Goto's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but... I said harder! But just after that, you turned towards the light and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Goto's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember. After all, there was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Mai's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly.
Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights?
I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood.
That blood. Is it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
I think so. Probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right?
Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her.
Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sound of her breathing and movement. And also, the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out the shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Did you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so, but suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark.
They went out?
Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean?
Red lights were coming from Goto's mask. And they went out right in the middle of a fight.
Maybe the mask was damaged.
Maybe it was knocked off.
Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right, Chite?
Ha! Because of the clock.
Yeah. we.
I get it. Mia died. I understand. Jesus, man, I get it. Or
maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working.
Could have really happened.
Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream.
A terrible scream.
Not a terrible. It was pretty well directed and well delivered. That's a terrible scream. Ah! That's a horrible scream.
Oh!
Bum 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 bum. Oh!
What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
Ah!
What? So then, that scream came from the killer!
That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
Nope, she didn't know it was there. It's the dagger. The dagger has his blood on it. Next!
Then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow. I guess.
Just Phoenix standing there. Nope, here's the blade. Next!
Nope.
Try again.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There's a contradiction there. I'm sorry to say this. That interpretation could create an enormous contradiction.
Would! Not could. It is!
No, it could.
No.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she gave before the killer let out a scream? Maya said that she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
She could have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. Like the ball. It was the ball on the staff.
If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Chite.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What could she have used to strike back at the killer?
It's the dagger, but yeah! That's what she did. You stabbed her in the back and she went, naturally the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree.
Yes. The detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
And I looked at it and said, shit. Dahlia Hawthorne struck
Did I
back
say
at
that?
the killer with this. She managed to wound him as well.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
We already know it's not. You foolish fool! Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Alright, strip naked. Let's see him.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belonged to the killer?
Exactly. DNA analysis, Jesus, of the blood would prove it would beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Goto, it would prove that it's your blood.
Nice theory, Chite.
Order! Order in the court!
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test.
Let me ask you something, Chite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes! What does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it.
It can't be.
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Chite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance!
What?
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue your test.
Wait a minute!
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Hiya.
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But if Mr. Goto had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
If he's wearing the same clothes. Maya, maybe he just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the inner temple site got trapped there.
That's right. And once the bridge was fixed, the police headed for the inner temple.
Mr. Goto was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Order! Order in the court! Okay.
What this says is true?
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
The judge takes smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. He did it naked. That way you wouldn't get any blood on him.
That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night.
But you're you're fine.
After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
Ah! Ah! That's a better one.
Huh. So that's all you got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this.
No, it's not easy. Next, it's gonna be the ball from the staff. That's why your goggles went.
Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already.
Me and Faye were here.
So come on, Trite! Can you do it or not?
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Kodo of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. Boobies. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it.
Huh. That's good. Fight it to the bitter end, Trite. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the ultimate penalty?
You got me there. Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godo? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Give me a break. You got nothing, Trite.
What do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I just gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle.
All right then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you've got.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in a previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by the dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing.
There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound.
What did you say?
Hidden?
This is it. Last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there was no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound.
It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you got. Where's this location where you said the killer hid his wound?
Oh, I've got to show on evidence where it is. Just assume it was the mask.
Huh. I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite?
I saw that!
What was that just now? Mia. It can't be. You're living on through him?
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godo, would you mind removing your mask? You have a dagger wound under there somewhere. then I'd say this whole case is solved. He killed himself!
Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Kodo. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me.
You, yourself?
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me. And no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth. To escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on. So I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore. So I quit.
But you saved Maya.
Yeah. That was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? No. Why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
Wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya.
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, a part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? But now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion. A fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from me as death. Instead, you picked up right where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything.
Mr. Goda.
I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Thanks.
Wound. It's bleeding.
Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Mr. Armando, you do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant,
Yes, Your Honor.
although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister, you only met twice.
Huh? What? Only met twice?
First time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
No way. It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia?
I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny.
You mean...
That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and the surveillance. She couldn't move about freely.
That's why you...
My sister From the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pinned back for me. In her place.
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer.
Yeah.
She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
It was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime. She would confer with you?
I think she must have noticed.
Noticed what?
My feelings for you. If I had found out that she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Iris.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I have something to say to you two.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix, right?
What's that? That's a persona blend he's got there. Yeah. I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Donham. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned.
And that's it.
That's it. There's the credits right there.
That's the end.
Get out of here. Stop the video right now. Leave. Walk away.
That's the end of Goto.
For now.
No, not for now. He's gone. Forever. What do you think about him?
A good character? What do you want me to think about him?
I want you to think that you want to fuck him.
I'm sure that's what everybody thinks when they see him.
Yeah. Goto is my favorite character in the series. Out of how many characters are there? Like 500 something? Goto's number one at the top. Most people probably wouldn't say that. That's a good amount of people would say that he's like an S2 character, but probably not their favorites. Maybe like Edgeworth is better, but I think he's better than Edgeworth because of how like well written he is, and also he kind of wanted to be caught because he was edging Phoenix along and giving him hints.
He was edging Phoenix.
Yes,
that was it.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole case before we go into this epilogue?
Epilogue.
And it's like 10 minutes.
Epilogue. Good.
Good.
Honestly, great conclusion.
Did you? You said before that this was going to be. This is turning into your favorite case. Do you still?
Yeah, it's still my favorite case.
Okay.
It's a good conclusion to everything that it's built up.
That's like 90% of the opinions. Yeah, this is the best case. As well as mine. So it's all going downhill from here. All the other cases suck.
So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by his own hand.
By my own.
Whatever. Of course justice was served. Mia! I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Stop it. Bailiff, shut up.
Sorry.
Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You're as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia, you've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you, Mia. I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. Oh, that's it. Mia's gone too. Never coming back.
Well, you're right. She is never coming back.
I handled a lot of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I've found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick,
Maya!
I guess it's just like what my sis said.
Mia? What'd she say?
That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry. Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But...
Come on! Cut it out with all that, with that gloomy face! Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure I was too. We owe you for everything you have done for us, Nick.
Maya, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Yeah! Franziska!
Still as softy as always. Phoenix is right.
I'm not into you!
Excellent work, right? Well, I'm a lesbian. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, what did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Franziska have actually been helping me.
Helping you? Blah, 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 blah.
These
Blah,
two
blah.
hadn't been here on the
Blah, blah.
first day of the trial.
Blah, blah. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah.
Vince wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. Where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into the river and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And, you too. Franziska? I don't suppose.
Oh,
That
it's
was
you.
Larry. It's Larry. I was like, wait, that's Gertrude? No, it's Larry. There's room for me in the scoop hug. Is there?
Gumshoe runs over and shoves Larry inside. Nope, I'm taking it.
Oh,
It's mine!
Larry.
What's with the, longer than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of use to anyone. Not even once. That's not true. Right, Nick?
What? You're asking me?
Well, Nick, is it true? I got a place in this world, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good.
No. Oh yeah! Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
What? Me? Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Fezzy? Did I draw you well, too? Ah! My beauty can't possibly be captured by mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. So then you'll do it, like you promised? You'll go in the model for my next picture book, Fancy Whippity Whip Trip? Yeah! Don't get carried away! Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. But painting a pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. God!
I'm just laughing because something fell and I just heard a very, very quiet thud and then a meow. Like it landed on her and she's like, I don't want to make any noise, but ow. Pearls, where could she have gone? Normally she would. She's under the couch!
Ooh.
Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. I'll be right back.
Ow!
Hey, Pearly! Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya could be so cheerful despite all that has happened.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Franziska. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well.
I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears. And I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
That's right. Edgeworth lost his dad as well.
What do you mean by... Hey! Dad! Why were we games?
I wanted to play this one. It looked fun. I can't even tell what they are from here. I think one of them's Mario Galaxy 2.
Let me see.
We Draw? Is that We Draw?
Let me see.
What games is the cat trying to play? Epilogue of cat playing video games.
Black Ops.
Okay, Black Ops 1. That's a good one. That's a good one. Solid game.
Mario Galaxy 2. You Draw Studio, yes.
Okay, I'm pretty good from a distance.
Wipeout.
Oh, Wipeout. Oh, great. Yeah.
The bold, shitty, like those shitty games, yeah?
Shitty game, okay.
Yep,
just stick with the shitty game.
Yep, that's like a
Wipeout.
2 out of 10.
Wipeout, You Draw.
Sonic Unleashed, another 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah! Sonic Unleashed. What a game!
Oh, of course, Defending the Penguin.
Why do you have that?
I don't know.
Who thought that was a good idea to get it?
But it's made by Creative Entertainment. Oh, God.
I found our next game!
Nope, this is our next one. The Smurfs 2.
Smurfs 2. This cat's got great taste.
Yes.
Solid taste. Nice taste, cat. Nice taste.
Taste.
Shitty game and then a penguin shitty game.
Colonel. Nice taste.
Is it Snake?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nice tits.
Nice tits.
It was him with Sniper Wolf.
Yeah. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? I wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry.
Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow!
You're telling me Phoenix right? Who does Maya Faye being strong for?
Me!
No.
Me!
No.
Pearls!
Pearl Faye.
Poor kid, after all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions. It's because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Faye clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. Shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. She broke the vase and fixed it again.
Never. Adrian did that. But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Faye's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
That's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Till she can see her smile again. Oh, hey! So this is where you all were. Well, looks like we've got quite a bunch of— Wow! What was that first, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My drip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary just sorta kinda gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Ow!
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That drip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe? You said first-class French restaurant? You don't mean... Très bien! Where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone! Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby! You're invited too.
Oh, forget about me. And I will be at the loser's shack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya is taking an awful long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls? Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh? I'll bet she went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before. As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Maya and I will join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the— Ah!
Very well, Felix, right. We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right?
Don't smile like that. We won't.
I finally feel some happiness in my life, and you want me to not showcase that?
You get fat-faced when you look like that.
Where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to. Jail.
The White House?
Ah, it's the White House's sister.
Oh, okay. Sakura Temple.
The Blonde House. For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister Bikini.
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly is here?
She's in the trading hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? She's in the back.
In the back, in the casket. Okay. Pearly's not here.
Ah! Maya! The hanging scroll. She licked it clean.
Someone cleaned it off.
It's gotta be Pearl.
It's got to be Pearl. Ah! Oh wait, hold on. Ah! Oh god, that's much better. Mystic Maya! Pearly! Why? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya!
More.
I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's father.
That's why you came here.
It's the least I could do. Pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone. But, how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, and Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya.
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Sister Bikini!
That's my name, don't wear it out. Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Gurain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die.
Today. Your spirit was with her.
Yes.
That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. No regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? A rant?
Eventually. Come on!
A broken controller?
Come on!
Oh. I can read!
That was the answer, by the way. Get up, Zenkoto. He was the killer.
Present anything else?
Oh yeah, I think you die.
Take that. Dead.
Infinite penalty. It was fun while it lasted. See you later, trite.
There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the Master's talisman.
Thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. Now put it on! I mean, it wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents. That's a photo of the family.
A photo? Ah! Mother.
It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Ha, it was broken before. Bye, Maya. Even when the battle is over and the bond that connect us are severed, we always return time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going, everyone? Get going. Everyone is waiting. This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know. I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 for when you come back.
Alright. We're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance.
Okay, Mystic Maya. I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I don't. Later that night, Pearls threw up all over the floor. No! Not the sheepskin towels!
It's projecting her.
Floating through the sky. Oh God, get her down!
She's allergic to shellfish. How did you not know?
Oh no, she's lactose intolerant. It's coming out the other end. Like a nice balance beam in the middle. You can push her, and she kind of just moves steadily, like there's no gravity, no friction. There's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
reservations for training is fine and all. But why for 3?
Come on! What do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you could train right alongside us.
Huh? One of us. One of us. I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course, naturally.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right?
We'll have a nice, big meal before we come next time. Right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing.
Sure. Of course you can.
Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps too. Well then, here goes nothing. Objection!
Shoot the kite!
Objection!
That's the end of the Phoenix Wright trilogy. I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Crane, and the official officer and manager of Radical Officers. I have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that.
Spoilers. She's locked up, captured, and
What's your thoughts on Trials and Tribulations? Fuck.
So it's true. Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through all, with the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making a secret reservation.
You're next.
I'm next.
Yeah.
I didn't know they put me in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Shuichi.
Why do you think we did this?
Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly. I did it already.
Yes.
7 times.
What do you think about the Trials and Tribulations?
Chiaki!
Say it! Damn it! Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Crane exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen in almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip, and said that I must show you what I've learned.
Huh? I think Von Karma likes you.
No. That's why I said she's a lesbian.
Nishimura! Aramasu!
What do you think about the game?
Good!
I started a company called Master Mass Consulting. You're Desi, by the way.
We're
You
dedicated
forgot?
to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city.
I want to cut it out, please!
Pretty cute, huh?
Oh, we also sell plans to the criminals as kind of side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think that may be with the worst criminals.
Good. Great. Loved it.
Yeah! On the back cover.
I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tigray, so I lent him 500k and a tea set. A special thick tea, one I mixed with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. When through compromise.
I'm still here!
Makoto Fuji.
Jimmy is.
Takeshi.
I'm just old and in the way. A weak like grumpy clown nose waste of flesh. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper.
Because you did have a dirty diaper.
Probably, yeah.
And your diaper was dirty.
As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Eld. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adamata. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly.
That a man. You just hired somebody
next,
with the same effects as Glenn L. Which is Glenn. My. More reporters. Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazine like us. because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Wow!
Oh, fuck.
That's it. No,
No, you should be fine.
there's no more. No, that's it. Right there.
What am I doing here? How did I get here?
You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Oh, get over it.
Who are the voices?
Me.
It was Ben Judd! Don't worry about him. Don't look him over there. He didn't do anything bad. Actually, maybe he did. We got Sean Keane!
No, he did some
Sean Keane is the GOAT.
at beating his.
No, that was the other one. No, that was Ben Judd.
I couldn't even finish the joke. Jesus.
It's like a Kamiya.
Oh, it's James Wilson from House.
Yeah. Get it, Chew! Who does the localizations? Pain!
Chris Slip.
Chris Slip. But nobody would never know who voiced Von Karma.
What's this?
Oh,
I'm
son
back
of
from a
a
lot of time in vacation and no one's here to greet me! I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit now and I got no one! And what kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? And with all that flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And now then, what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought back for everyone? I mean, if I put them over the veg mask, he was going to say that he saw them. I really can't accept this, I'm afraid. Or something like that. To the people from oh, well, I have a fine gentleman who would you be like a fine lady?
No more. No more, please. Please, no more.
Oh.
I finally found something I love to do! Fancy's Remedy Whip Trip is going to turn the art world on its head! I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial? I'm an artist! A really good portrait artist! I'm not a loser after all! Let's see what he did. Get out of the way! Get out! Shinji, get out of here! I want to see Larry's portraits.
Nice. Look at the color. Look at how. Look at the lighting. Look at the. Oh. He captured everything. Like mother, like daughter.
How did you not notice they look alike? Come on.
She had a robe on. Can't see Big Booba. Robe. That's Big Booba.
I can't type. Oh well. Alright, that's the end of everything. Of the trilogy, that is.
Alright, give me the loaded gun.
But no, you're not gonna kill me yet.
I was gonna use it on myself. Okay.
But we have to play other games! But also, look at these posters! Look at that!
Great.
Look at that!
Ah,
Look at that!
that was good.
Look at that!
That one's fine. Not the worst one of these.
Okay. They should be ashamed of themselves for this one, or whatever. Whatever you want to think is the worst one.
That one.
Okay. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Out of all of them, that was the worst one.
In the game?
Of cases?
Cases, yeah.
They're all good. I liked all of them.
Hmm?
I think 4 is probably the one that I didn't care that much for.
I suppose there's not a lot of investigating, stuff like that. But, the Terry Falls committing suicide in the middle of the court case, Edgeworth coming back, and he's Von Karma-like. We actually see the real Diego Armando.
Yeah, there's good facts about it, but
Yeah.
it's still probably my least favorite case of all of these.
Okay. Well, tune in next time. Well, we're going to be playing a different game. What game are we playing? Fucking Cuphead. We're doing Cuphead.
You'll see when it comes out. Shut up.
I just said it. It's Cuphead.
You know what? You're fired.
Fuck. And we'll do cut by the end.
No, you're fired.
Thank you for watching this episode of the series of Phoenix Fridays and Trials and Tribulations. Make like, subscribe, down below, 5 to be up, which is.
I don't think you understand that you're fired.
Bye-bye!